Chapter 10 delves into the Clinton administration and its overwhelming uncertainty over certain policies. President Bill Clinton ran on a relatively liberal agenda advocating for increased social spending as well as health and welfare reforms. Prior to the election, President Clinton searched to obtain power. He was captivated participating in other campaigns like class presidency at both Georgetown and high school. Throughout his pre-presidency scene, he acquired thousands of contacts that could help him excel to higher aspirations. These contacts eventually got him to governor of Arkansas in 1978. He held that position for 4 terms, then decided to run for presidency. Clinton's vague ideas and characteristics became benefits to the Democratic Party. He founded the Democratic Leadership Council that transformed Democratic policies, calling for a narrow range of economic reforms such as job training, education standards, free trade, and infrastructure improvements. Many found George H.W. Bush, his competitor, to be unbeatable. However, the election of 1992 did not adhere to that philosophy, with Clinton getting 43% of the popular vote and Bush receiving 38%. President Clinton had very contradictory policies during his campaign. Throughout his presidency, he had to compromise with groups like the conservatives to get any sort of social spending. At the time, healthcare revolved around employers and private insurance companies. Medicare helped people over the age of 65, and Medicaid helped the poor. Over 40 million people were uninsured in 1992. Clinton attempted to change this, but companies resisted reforms that lowered their profit margin. Clinton proposed a plan to help provide health care to everyone regardless of means, with the main part being employers would be required to fund health care to their employees. However, his plan was defeated because liberals and conservatives did not agree. Clinton also wanted to address the issue of crime. The Violence Against Women Act helped reduce domestic violence. The Republican Party gained control of both houses of Congress in 1994 and wanted to enact a plethora of policies outlined in the Contract of America. This was very successful as they completed almost everything they wanted to within the first 100 days. Some things listed on the contract include senior citizen aid, budget balancing, national defense strengthening, tax cuts to benefit middle-class people, incentives to businesses, term limits, and welfare reforms. Clinton did not have a lot of support from vulnerable populations because he continued oppressing gays and lesbians with the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. People of color weren't getting proper treatment from the government. Immigrants and women were also not pleased with the president. With not a lot of good coming from the Clinton administration, he did have some pluses. Domestic discretionary spending was lowered, incentives for the fiscal environment, helping the environment, making education a priority, strengthening family relations, and creating jobs. President Clinton created a plethora of policies still enacted today. However, his ability to get thrown around did not help him be viewed as a good president.